Notice has been given in accordance with the sunshine laws. Notice was published on December 12th in the Star Ledger, which is the official newspaper of the Township of Springfield for 2025 and 2026, posted in the Annex Building on December 12th, 2025. Let's do a salute to the flag. Let's have a roll call.
Friendly reminder, please talk into the microphones. I'm getting complaints that people can't hear you at home.
Let's have a roll call, please.
Okay. Mayor Harris Lawfer,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Alex Kaiser,
Here.
Mr. David Barnett,
Microphone on. Here.
Mr. Richard Cedarquist,
Here.
Ms. Julie Tomeo is absent, Mr. Scott Wishna,
Here.
Mr. Kenneth Korn, Mr. Kevin Ferraro,
Here.
Vice Chair Aaron Lawfer, is not here, and Chairman Jeff Tiger.
Here.
Well,
One
got one
second.
coming down.
Let the record reflect that Ken Corn's here. So also for the record, Julie is excused. She has something going, medical. And the other person, wait, I'm trying to, our vice chair, Aaron, our vice chair had a conflict, which he reached out, so excused absence. Okay, resolution, we had our Scotty's Ridge Apartments, which they're not supposed to be calling it apartments anymore. Gateway Manor, 10-2025S, 597 Morris Avenue, Block 505, Lot 1, preliminary and final site plan bulk variance residential development. The resolution has been on the Google Drive. I know that everyone had a chance to review it. Any questions or concerns? None? Seeing none? The only caveat is, I mean, I know that I promised our business administrator to review it. I don't know if he did. I guess if there's an issue, I'll have to come back and talk about it. So, can I have a roll call, please? Can I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 10-25S.
I'll second.
Mr. David Barnett,
Yes.
Chairman Tiger,
Yes.
Mayor Lawfer,
No.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser,
Yes.
Mr. Cedarquist,
Yes.
Mr. Wishna,
Yes.
Mr. Korn,
Yes.
Mr. Farrar. And that's it. Motion passes. I don't,
It's the mic.
it's me.
You're gonna get a lot of. Okay, we'll just move it right along. Okay.
You have people speak into the mics, and then everything goes,
This is your own
goes
fault.
awry.
It's really your own fault.
So we have our environmental rep, Mr. Wishna, that has been attending all the environmental meetings. Thank you, Mr. Wishna. If you can give us an update, 5 minutes or less, what's going on with the board, maybe what they can need our help with, what are some of the topic points, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, well, all would be a stretch because there's been one meeting since I've been appointed.
So it's been all since you've been appointed.
Technically, yes, it's been all. I guess, I know the chair had addressed the town committee. I don't know if it was the last meeting or maybe 2 meetings ago, so this may be duplicative for Harris and for
He's sitting right
Alex, sorry. So I think the first issue.
Let the record reflect that I will not be voting for his reappointment.
So I was looking that way and not really.
It's okay.
So the first issue has to do with the restoration of the former rail line that goes through town. There's a grant that was made available through Union County to essentially convert that to a bike path that will connect multiple towns on the former rail line. I believe that the grant allows for the funding to demolish what is there, the old railroad ties, vegetation, what have you. And I believe this has already been discussed with John with respect to what he needs to do to connect to the county to start the process of how they're going to come in to the town and how they're going to access to begin that demo work.
Can I interrupt for one
Is this-
second? Our board member wants to be so I'm going to FaceTime her in so she can be a part of it.
Is this going to happen? Because this has been talked about
The grant
for
money is-
decades. It's been very unpopular for the decades that this has been talked about.
One quick second, let the record reflect that Julie Tomato's on. It is 6:37. Thank you, I'm so sorry.
So the two committee members present may have more information on this than I do, and you may have more historical information than I do. But my understanding is that the grant money for the demo work has already been done, and it's now a question of just arranging for that demo work to begin. Now, there's multiple phases of this, which is the actual construction of the bike path. So the first phase is what I understand has been funded. You guys can tell me if that's.
Sure. So so in terms of Rails to Trails, which is the program that you're talking about, and I think Alex has info as well, probably more. But last I had heard, which was today, the township is in support of it. We passed a resolution supporting it. The issue is money, quite frankly. There is money, but we have to go through the grant process to get that. Otherwise, it's completely on the township's dime, which you guys, our budget is going to be razor thin, so we need that grant money. And, you know, we haven't even, we do need to solicit input from the people whose homes border that, and we have not done that yet. We will once we go forward with the grant application, and everything will happen according to a process.
So, I think that's all I had on that particular topic, with respect to being involved in those issues. Anything else?
Any questions for Mr. Wishner? So at the end of the year, maybe November, December, maybe we bring, just like we've done prior years, we bring Ally and a few members, and you guys kind of update, carve out a little extra time. Once we see in October-ish what our agendas look like, we'll pick an October, November, December. Okay, any questions for Mr. Wishner? Guys down there? Okay, so seeing none, we will go on to some of the agenda items. So we have, and we're going to turn this portion of the meeting over to our planner, Mr. Mistretta, but there's the adoption of our housing plan, consistency review of the overlay zones that we've done, and consistency review of our affordable housing. Let's just lump it into one discussion. Two separate? Okay, so pick one and go start first, and then, go ahead. Thank you. I'll pass through. Yes, thank you. You don't get one. I don't get one. No, I'm just kidding. I don't need. You sure?
Yeah, you're gonna get one.
Julie, do you want me to give my phone to, can you hear this when we start? If you can't hear, let us know, and I'll give my phone to Jen, so that way you're over there, okay?
Okay, if I could explain this at a very high level. About June 2025, the planning board adopted what's known as our fourth round housing element and fair share plan. We met all the deadlines under the amended Fair Housing Act. It went to the Township Committee. Township Committee endorsed the plan. The plan was then forwarded to Fair Share Housing Center and the state under the DCA, the program portal, and we made all of our submissions for our fourth round. Fourth round extends from July 1st, 2025 through July 1st, 2035. So it's a 10-year plan. The plan was then reviewed by Fair Share Housing Center over the summer. We had no other challenges. We received one challenge from Fair Share Housing Center in August 2025. That challenge brought up two issues in our housing plan. And that kicked off a back and forth negotiation, which resulted in a consent order, which then resulted in a decision by the judge overseeing the case, Judge Lindeman, who issued an order, and I'm gonna quote right out of that order. Why are we doing this tonight? That's the question. The order issued by the court on page 13 of the decision, page 13 of the consent order, which is an evaluation of our plan, which summarizes the evaluation of our plan. There are two items that I'm here to address right now on this consent order. Page 13, top of the page, it says the township shall revise its fourth round housing element and fair share plan to include, and there's I and double I. First one, I, additional family units in order to satisfy its obligations. The township shall provide Fair Share Housing Center with the proposed sites and any draft zoning ordinances by February 15, 2026 for comment. If the parties agree that the proposed site creates a realistic opportunity, the township shall adopt the revised housing element and fair share plan or amendment addendum to the housing element fair share plan on a date to be established at the case management conference on February 20th, 2026. Long story short, the court and fair share reviewed our plan. They said they wanted an additional site that will produce family units. That's the bottom line. What we did was, and I'll go over the plan in a minute, so I'll save your time and do it one time. The second comment was, and this is in the consent order again on page 13, the township shall revise its fourth round housing element fair share plan to include, item number 2, revise the third and fourth round crediting tables to allocate bonus credits and provide the basis for the claimed bonus credits. The township shall provide Fair Share Housing Center with the revised crediting table by February 15th, 2026. The township shall include the revised crediting tables in its housing element fair share plan and adopt the revised plan or amendment addendum to the plan at a date to be established at the case management conference on February 20th, 2026. Okay. So what I just had a handout, one handout, it's titled Amended Fourth Round Housing Element and Fair Share Plan. That's the document that both of those items I just discussed were referring to. It has been reviewed by Fair Share Housing Center and signed off. We've met every deadline in our consent order. We've met every deadline under the Amended Fair Housing Act. Should the board find this document to be acceptable, this document will be added to our housing plan. If you remember last year, we had a housing plan. It's 300, 400, 500 pages thick. There's a lot of demographics, a lot of numbers, a lot of math in there, a lot of pretty pictures and so forth. In order to save time and make life a little bit easier, they agreed in multiple places in the consent order that we do not have to reissue that document, that we can add this addendum to it. This is the same addendum that was on a Google Drive that everybody received. I'm not going to read it word for word, but on the first page, I think there's a pretty strong narrative that walks you through the entire process that I just went through with specific dates, deadlines, and the requirements of the consent order. Essentially, do two things. Amend this chart 5% of our RDP, and this chart has been signed off. And as you can see in our chart, we had a third round obligation of 410. We had a third round RDP of 142. When you add up your bonus credits at the bottom of the page of 35, now we're on top of page 3, it's 177. And then we have what's called as unmet need. We don't have enough land, we're a vacant land town. We have an unmet need of 233. the township is required and did in the third round adopt these overlay ordinances to address its unmet need, and we identified how we did that to meet our total obligation. If you flip to page 4, now we segue into the fourth round. We identify how we're addressing our fourth round obligation, which is 262, up on top in green column. Fourth round RDP of 24. The projects are essentially the Scotty's project, the Bank of America project, and a redevelopment of a parcel on Morris Avenue that is owned by a developer who's interested in moving that forward. I'll show you that in a minute on a slide. And then on the next page, on page 5, it talks about our unmet need. Again, we have a very large unmet need because we're a vacant land town, 234.5 credits. We don't have enough projects to fill those, so we have our unmet need mechanisms. I will go through those in a minute on a separate handout. And we demonstrate how we're going to meet our unmet need. And that's our overlay ordinances. And inside there is what's called one of the mechanisms is the PUD zone, which is one of our mechanisms for addressing our unmet need.
PUD.
Planned unit development, essentially Park Place. That's the planned unit development. Essentially what the court said was add another project, and they audited our bonus credits and how we allocated them. The way to allocate bonus credits is different under the fourth round than the third round. In most of my towns, they have asked for this audit. We completed the audit. This has been signed off by Fair Share. We're under court order or consent order, not a consent order, to adopt this no later than March 16th, 2026.
You want to show us that one other site that you said that the developer was interested in?
I would like to, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to get to that because the ordinances I'm about to talk to are reflected in this chart. Technically, I'd like to answer any questions, go through this chart, answer any questions that anybody has, and then have a vote on amending our fourth round plan consistent with this addendum, close that one portion, start another section. I have a separate handout, and then I'll go through the development.
Are you attaching the letter from the developer that Park Place is set to go?
I'll go into that in a minute. You're just one step ahead of me. I'll get there.
Okay, so do we have to, after we answer questions, do we have to, because we have to pass this tonight, it needs to go over to the township committee for tomorrow night. So are we, what does the board have to do?
Just like Mike described, we're taking the vote on the amended fourth round fair share plan. There's a resolution that was also placed on the drive that was worked on in coordination with the Affordable Housing Council. So once that is voted on, we will have a resolution that we go over tomorrow. And then, as Mike said, then we can go into the consistency review of each of the two overlays. We'll do one at a time.
And any questions? Yeah, so for the new guys, we've been working on this for over a year. So why don't you hold your questions to the end, because you may hear some of the stuff. This has been over a year in the making.
Okay.
Of going through vacant land in the town, sites for redevelopment, anywhere where we can add in some affordable housing gets, maybe areas that like really need to be redeveloped because they're vacant, they haven't had businesses in 2 years, there's certain criteria.
Okay.
We've been at this for a while, so let me call on you at the end, because you may get some more context after you hear from some of the folks that have been working on it. Scott, you have been on a lot of the calls and questions.
I just want to make certain what my understanding is of what we're attempting to adopt first, and that is just what's listed out on page 4, which would be amending the already approved overlay to include, or obligation to include those either pending projects or contemplated projects.
Technically, it's all 6 pages because it's submitted as one document. So I prefer, it's one document. The one document is an amendment to the plan. The first page is just a narrative to explain the process. And then the second pages, the pages 2 and 3 are important because they ask for an audit of our third round bonus credits, and that chart goes all the way back in time, addresses our third round and fourth round, so
Let me put, my question really was, the questions we're asking now are about those specific things, because you have yet to explain.
correct,
Correct.
yes,
I
sorry.
have no questions about.
Okay, thank you.
No.
No questions either. David? Last year, on the board, they put that the front of Town Hall is development land.
I think it is insane.
Richard? Nothing? Okay, so then, we're gonna,
Yeah.
any questions?
What's the consequence if you don't satisfy the plan?
So, he can answer, oh, actually, Attorney.
And, well, I mean, that'd be better for affordable housing council, because I don't, but, not accepting, not doing what's been recommended, could have consequences such as opening up the township to certain liabilities, builders remedies, lawsuits, and everything else.
Milburn doesn't have the power to do certain things anymore that a planning board or zoning board can do. It's gotta be a special master
Yeah,
that decides what goes.
but there's a huge difference.
Drive home that, please.
Yeah, like, I'm,
Anywhere close.
Jeff, factually, that is 1,000% accurate. Milburn has historically been a bad actor as it pertains to affordable housing. They haven't built any. Springfield has studiously made strides in terms of fulfilling our affordable housing obligations. With the help of Mr. Mistretta, Mr. Disco, everybody on this board, we've done a lot. I don't want to muzzle Julie, who is also entitled to questions, but there is a state's worth of real estate between us and Milburn, who did lose the ability to zone for themselves. I mean, we've been broadly compliant. We've made sure that our housing developments do have affordable components to them.
Right, so we're really trying to create a path for the units to be developed. Obviously, we can't control if the projects move forward.
We're not.
Right, okay.
And we're looking for immunity, so that way someone can't come in and buy a warehouse somewhere, knock it down, and say they're building 500 units right now.
Right, because we didn't satisfy the obligations and created.
Or have immunity from it with our plan.
Okay, makes sense.
Julie, I'm sorry, I forgot about you, even though you're sitting right in front of me the whole time. Any questions? No. Okay, I hope you're feeling better. So we're looking for a motion to approve the document for the amended HEFSP.
Correct.
So can someone make a motion for that, please? And you understand that, so you.
Motion.
We have a roll call?
Mr. Korn?
Yes.
Mrs. Mayo? Yes. Mayor Loeffler?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Barnett?
Yep.
Mr. Cedarquist? Mr. Wishna?
Yes.
Mr. Farrar? And Chair Taggart?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Not a good, it's just not a good one.
Consistency review for the two overlay ordinances. You want to keep that together, the two things are separate?
We want to close that one.
We
and
did.
now- Yeah, good, now we're going to start the consistency review.
Is it for both the two overlays?
One at a time? I don't know if the ordinance, the resolution's two separate ordinances or one at a time? Either way,
Well, I don't know what the
It-
ordinance is gonna be.
it-
That's
it-
just for the committee. But
there's separate votes. Well,
there's separate votes, and when we did this,
that's fine.
a few years ago, we did one. That was,
So we can do one here, and the township committee does multiple. Right? I know, I'm asking, was that, you just said that was the process?
well, when we did two redevelopment area consistency reviews, we did them at the same time. Haven't done anything specific for the
Why don't we just do them at the same time?
I'd say we did in the same meeting.
Oh, okay.
We did a consistency review, took a vote. Is that consistent? Yes.
Yeah, it does, it actually does, yes.
We sign this? figure this out. Okay, so let's go on to the next one.
Okay.
Go ahead, the floor is yours, Mr. Bishop.
Thank you. Now we can, if you want to just, now it's adopted, so if you just take a quick look back at our chart before we go into the next handout, because they interplay with each other. Chart number, I'm on page 5 of the chart that I handed out, which has been adopted by our board. We submitted this plan down to the state, and we said that we will address our unmet need, this 234.5 number, by 3 different mechanisms. On page 5, we have the amended Affordable Housing Overlay Zone 1, and then we have the PUD Sub-Area Overlay Zone, which is right underneath it. Those are the 2 mechanisms, and then there's the amended mandatory set-aside ordinance. So there's 3 mechanisms identified on page 5. And we told the state and Fair Share, that's how we're going to address this number of affordable units. What does that mean? If you go to the handout that I just had, second handout, these are the proposed projects addressing the 4th round unmet need. The first map you see, I'll skip the chart for a second, but the first map you see is AHO 1 zone, which ties to your chart on page 5. Affordable Housing Overlay 1 zone. It's identified in 3 highlighted yellow areas, A, B, C. They are in our zoning code today. If you open up our zoning code today, the Affordable Housing Overlay Zone exists. It's there today. It was adopted as part of the 3rd round, and it was the 3rd round unmet need mechanism. And if you look at your chart, on the left-hand side, it says 3rd round, and it talks and it states 16 units an acre is the density for multifamily, and there's a footnote, 18 units if you assemble 5 or more acres. What we did in the 4th round was we prepared an ordinance, which you have it tonight in front of you for consistency review. We increased this density to 25 units an acre. That's straight out of the plan that we adopted last June. Nothing has changed. All we're doing tonight, or all the township committee did the other night, was introduce an ordinance and refer to our planning board. That is our 4th round housing plan. So what the township,
So it's just going up by 9.
that's it. That's the first consistency review ordinance of amending our Affordable Housing Overlay Ordinance 1.
Any questions with that, step by step? I think it's pretty straightforward. We're just increasing it from 16 to 25, and then 15 or 20% to 20. Great.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. It's,
Vacant land.
do we want to vote on that one?
Yeah, let's vote on the first one.
I would,
Do everyone individually?
Do it just to be safe.
Okay, so any questions or concerns? I think that was straightforward. I think Mr. Wishon was about to make a motion. He was
I was not going
Oh, you were not going to make a motion?
Several concerns, no questions.
Yeah. Yeah, so are you here for this?
I'm here for file 97. I live next door to my parents.
Oh, so that was a resolution, you should have told us in the beginning, I could have saved you a lot of time being here. That was a resolution this board acted favorably at the last meeting to approve 38 age-restricted units on that site. The development was approved at the last meeting, and we just memorialized that action. So if there's anything, you could, is there anything impairment to be discussed? The board already voted and made the decision. We can't overchange what we've done.
Yeah, it's fine. I received an email
The applicant's a lawyer?
maybe the
Come on up.
Come on up,
Let's
come on
just-
up. I don't wanna
let's
make
just
you
do-
wait.
I think it's a good time to do public comment.
Yes. Go ahead. We're just gonna take a little bit of a break right this second. Go ahead.
All right, thanks.
State your name for the record. It's fine. I'm not gonna make you wait the whole time.
Sure. Yeah, maybe my question would be like, has any study or assessment has been conducted regarding the impact of the construction? And, especially to the house next to it, my parents' place.
So there will be, and the engineer talked about, there will be a construction fence put around the entire property as it is right now. There'll be a silk fence eventually to cover for any soil. There are specific hours that this developer, or any developer can work within the town, 7 to 7, whatever it might be. Mr. Disco, any other things that I'm missing?
No, I mean, it'll be governed by other agencies as well. Somerset Union Soil Conservation District, New Jersey Department of Transportation for the Morris Avenue component.
And we did make sure that, I know for the neighbors about garbage being picked up at certain hours, there had to be after 9 o'clock. I think we put something in the resolution for that time. It had to be later in the time period.
Okay, how close is the building to the house next to it though?
It's a whole parking lot away, so I think it's probably 70 feet or so away, plus or minus.
Yeah, I think they said 70 or 76, but it's decent distance away.
Have you decided when to start the construction?
We don't know, it's up to them. There's also a fence that will be put up, a 6-foot fence, and there'll be arborvitae's, I think, some height, I don't know.
All right. If we have any concern regarding construction, should I?
When that happens, you call town hall and ask for the construction department, and they'll decide whether it's a construction issue or an engineering issue, and transfer you to the appropriate place.
Okay, I said that. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anybody else for public comment?
Yeah, anyone else for public comment? You're good. Seeing none, let's move forward. Can I entertain a motion to approve the AHO-17?
You're doing a motion for recommendation.
That it's consistent
Consistent.
with the increase of the density.
Rest so that can then go to the township. Final vote.
I'll move that.
Okay, good. Can I have a second? We have roll call?
Mr. Barnett? Mr. Farrar? Mayor Lawford?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Cedarquist? Yes. Ms. Tamayo? Yes. Mr. Wishna?
Yes.
Mr. Korn?
Yes.
And Chairman Tyler?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, perfect. Let's go to the next one.
Okay. The next couple handouts are just a blow-up of the yellow areas, so I didn't want to, if you're interested in what Area A looks like, the next slide, Area B, what that looks like, more detail, Area C, but it's just a blow-up of those 3 areas. The next one is Park Place. This is the PUD site known as Park Place. I'm on this, I apologize, I don't have page numbers. But second to last page and then the last page. That's what I want to bring your attention to. Again, it ties back to the chart on page 5 that we talked about earlier tonight. And one of the concerns by Fair Share Housing Center is we need to provide more family units. That's the comment, that's right out of the consent order. Essentially what we're doing tonight is we have Park Place is part of our 3rd round plan that was adopted back in 2015. The second to the last slide shows 2 yellow rectangular buildings, or boxes. All right, and there's nothing else there. Nothing happened in the 3rd round. Nothing happened from 2015 to 2025, but those yellow square boxes remain. They were designated for family rental units to be constructed by the owner of the overall PUD. Now flip the page. Now we're on my last page of the handout, and you'll see the existing office building that is on that same site, and it's highlighted in I guess a magenta color, a pink color. So now we have 3 boxes on this site, which are
2 office buildings is supposed to be?
yeah, and it's the next one too, but it's in words. not on the graphic. And what we did in the fourth round was we said the developer, as a township, we agreed that we could put some more units on this property. Again, a vacant land town, we have no undeveloped land. I'm sorry to use that term, I know it's not something that we look forward to, but we needed to find a place to put these units. We have a developer who reached out to the town and says, I can put together a plan and I will move forward with the town when it's ready to put units on this site. And if you look at chart 5 that I handed out, which we just approved on the previous vote, under additional mechanisms addressing remaining unmet need, it says PUD sub-area overlay zone. And it says to be determined. Proposed affordable units to be determined. We don't know. I don't know what they are. I don't know the number. And then we're on the greens, if you go over to the green, total affordable units and bonus credits to be determined. We don't know when we adopted this plan. I don't know this evening. What I do have is an email from the Developers Council stating that they are moving forward with a vision for this property. They are not ready yet to move that forward. They don't have a density, they don't have all that information yet, but when they are ready, they're gonna bring it to the township committee, and it's gonna start a conversation. And at some point, during the back and forth of that conversation, there'll be an agreed upon number and an agreed upon set aside, and those TBDs will be filled with an actual number that is assigned to it based on a concept that is agreed to by our township committee and referred to our planning board. The process is going so fast that the developer hasn't caught up to the process yet. But yet we have a consent order that says we have to provide more land. We did that. We have a developer who's working on a plan. I have nothing to show you tonight because they're not ready yet. And when they are ready, which is supposed to be within the next month, but whenever they're ready, they're going to submit it to the township committee, and the township committee is going to start that process of evaluating it. At some point, this chart will be further amended, and we'll put that number in there when the township agrees on it. So it's a long process. The deadline is March 15th that we have all of this adopted. So we are basically adopting a placeholder ordinance that puts the density in place so we could check a box and say that we've met every one of our requirements under the amended Fair Housing Act and our consent order, and we get what's called a certification of compliance, which is good for 10 years till July 1st, 2035, and we're in really strong position. And that's another reason why it's very important to adopt this. We maintain our immunity. We also maintain control of our plan, how it looks, how high, how many units, and so forth. So I'm asking you tonight on the second one to adopt the PUD ordinance, that we could at least have the zoning in place for a forthcoming redevelopment project.
So it's basically, you're gonna come back to us when the developer.
It's all in the developer's hands. They're telling me that they're out there surveying, they're analyzing, they're evaluating. I have no indication of what it looks like. It's part of an overall planned unit development. Most of the site is built out. It was designated for additional development in the third round, which has not occurred, and it's been identified as additional development in the fourth round, and we're waiting. And it's in the developer's hands.
It's just adding those two other sites.
That's it.
Any questions from the board? Nope. Seeing none, can I entertain a motion to move to approve?
It's again for consistency, for recommendation of consistency.
Move to approve the recommendation of consistency
PUD.
for the PUD.
I'll second it.
David seconded. What do you want to step on for?
I apologize. Go ahead. For the record, Dave. David.
Mayor Lawfer?
Yes.
Mr. Barnett?
Beat your ass.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Cedarquist?
Yes.
Ms. DeMayo? Yes. Mr. Wishna?
Yes.
Mr. Korn?
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro? And Chairman Tiger?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I have one more quick discussion item. We closed out we adopted our amended housing element fair share plan. We adopted the 2 consistency reviews. 30 seconds on the next step. All of that information, we've done it. We've checked every box in our consent order. Everything will be submitted. Last week, we got an email from the court saying, the email, and I'm not going to open up this box tonight. It's not on the agenda, and I will get back to this when I have more information to share with the board members, but we received an email from Fair Share Housing Center with comments on the ordinances. We're evaluating those comments. A little over a week ago, the judge ordered us in court this morning, not this morning, this afternoon at 1:30 to appear to talk about those comments. 4 o'clock this past Friday, the affordable housing attorney received a communication from the court that adjourned today's meeting and moved it to Thursday of this week at 3 o'clock in court with Fair Share. So we'll be there. We'll defend our plan. When I have more information, we'll come back and we'll talk with both the Township Committee and the Planning Board on what those comments are.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Mike, there's another ordinance for the affordable housing ordinance
Okay.
itself. I don't know if you did the review of that as well, but that's another ordinance that's on the agenda.
Okay, good. I'm ready to talk about it. That's a
I see-
separate
I see
vote.
it as part of the agenda.
You're right, you're right.
Has to be done today.
You're right. I just wanted to close out the overlay ordinances. I don't want to mislead my board. We just found ordinances that are consistent with our housing plan, okay? At the same time, they are being evaluated and critiqued by other groups, and we're going to address those comments. So in the future, if I come back with a comment, I want to just be clear about that.
There's one other thing left.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Just a quick, comparing us to other towns, because I want to drive home that point. I think we are trying to do exactly what is asked of us by the law.
Yep.
We might not like it. I think a lot of us understand that. We do need affordable housing.
Yep.
Might not be the perfect way, so we're trying our best. Compared to our other towns, is every town, are there a select few kicking and screaming? Are there some just ignoring this? Or is everyone trying their best?
I would say that out of all of my towns, they're either kicking and screaming or they are doing their best to adjust, to best planning solutions to address and put together a really strong plan. That's all, but I've got an outlier, but I don't want to pick on them. But in the third round, I had an outlier, and they lost their immunity, they went to a trial, they lost their planning board, planner, governing body. They went through it, and it was not a pretty process. So everyone is going through it, but it's very difficult, because when I do circle back with this group on these comments I'm referring to, and it's not on the agenda, and I don't want to start going down there, but to get to the point before, these comments are increase impervious coverage, put more on the property, go up higher, more, and more. So we'll get there, but that's the critique of what we just adopted tonight. And we're scheduled to be in court on Thursday to address those comments. And whatever happens in court, then I come back to the Township Committee and the Planning Board, and we figure out how to address it.
And separately, and I should ask this during the PUD. Are those buildings that are proposed, that they're potentially being proposed, the three, are they going to be governed differently than right now? Don't they have like a?
They have a
Or is
homeowner.
that still to be determined?
You're 10 steps ahead of me. All we're doing tonight is putting the zoning in place, saying the developer can
Do it.
put those units here with an inclusionary project, 20% set aside, and everything that follows from there is going to be a negotiation or
Gotcha.
with the
That's too
township
far ahead.
committee. So
We're
you're a
just
little
trying to
bit ahead
show
of me,
goodwill.
how high, how tall, how many units, density, setbacks. They want to go through the redevelopment process. It's all on them to, and they're prepared to demonstrate to the township committee and the planning board what their vision is, but that's on them.
Okay,
Can I ask before you
Yeah,
get into
no.
the next topic?
Go ahead.
We're just
no, that's fine.
throwing things to the wall. I guess my question is, when we're approving the overlay zone, or whatever that might be, what is the mechanism in place to ensure that whenever a redevelopment application comes in, that by right, if you include that in and they max out by right, that we're not significantly going over?
Sure, it's a great question. Great question. Go to the very last slide, and I'm sorry I didn't go through this clearer. Very last slide, Park Place, fourth round proposed development site. Acreage, well, the address is 955 South Springfield Avenue. There's an existing office building on the property. We identified the acreage as .5. Just for, it's because that's a sub-area. .5 with a density of 25 units an acre. So half of 25 is what they can put on that site. After the township committee, should the township committee adopt the ordinance tomorrow night, it's what I referred to before, a placeholder. Because we, without knowing, we're not gonna put a number on there that would hurt the town in any way, shape, or form. So, you know, so 12 and a half or 12, 13 would be over the density. So, because, well, no, I'm even doing the math above that, because it's half, 13 would be over, so they could put 12 units on the property.
12 units or 12 affordable units?
No, it would be 12 unit, yeah, exactly. It's 20% of 12.
But
So
the maximum density is 25. The maximum density is 25. So it's 25, half of that, we have a half acre, and then 20% of that number. It's a number,
it would be 2 units. It would be 2 units.
and Fair Share recognizes that. We're not trying to play a game, because we have it in writing from the developer, recognizing that they're agreeing with that and saying, we're not even ready because we don't know what the plan looks like. And when we are, we're going to come and meet with the township, and that TBD, those 12 units will be replaced with a number.
Okay, seeing none, the last thing we have is the affordable housing ordinance, planning consistent.
Sure, it's our third and final document that, again, we have to check a box that the township is required, shall adopt an amended affordable housing ordinance in order to be consistent with, well, not, I shouldn't use it, because in order to comply with our consent order and the amended Fair Housing Act. This document essentially is on the books today. We have an affordable housing ordinance, we have a mandatory set-aside ordinance, and we have a development fee ordinance. They're all in our township code today. December 2025, the DCA issued new Uniform Housing Control Act rules, UHAC rules, which updated the affordable housing obligations. These are statewide obligations, statewide regulations. They're in our code today, but they're written based on the third round rules. So they're dated based on the third round rules. So they're dated. So what the state did was they issued a model ordinance that refreshes those discussion points in our ordinance. It addresses those discussion points in our ordinance and address, it's to be clear, it's 3 in 1. It used to be 3 separate ordinances: development fee ordinance, affordable housing ordinance, mandatory set-aside ordinance. In the 4th round, they wrapped it all into one. DCA issued a model ordinance. We edited it for Springfield Township, and that was the ordinance that we are required to adopt to make sure our rules are consistent with the 4th round.
That was introduced by the Township Committee.
Introduced by the Township Committee. It's on tomorrow night for the agenda to be adopted, and it's one more box that we have to check. And off the record, or for the record, DCA has already stated that they're going to further amend them, so I'm going to bother you with this at some point in the future. Once they further amend them and release them, we're going to have to do this one more time. We're not controlling the process. The state is. We are under requirement to do this. And for the record, what is an affordable housing ordinance? All those other projects that we talked about earlier tonight, these are the rules of how to manage those, operate those, maintain qualification, bedroom qualification, so on and so forth. It's all regulated and consistent with the UHAC rules, which is a statewide regulation.
Mr. Disco, do you have anything to add? You've been sitting there very quiet tonight.
Nothing to add.
Let's start down there. Any questions? This is just the ordinance that the Township Committee introduced. We find it consistent. Master plan? Find it consistent.
Consistent with their 4th round housing element and fair share plan.
Julie? Okay, seeing none, there's no public. Jen, you're part of the public. Would you like to say anything?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Okay, well then, seeing no public, we entertain any questions or concerns since we've had none? So let's entertain a motion to outlined as Mr. Mistretta said, to adopt.
Second.
I'm sorry, who moved it?
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Barnett?
Yes.
Mayor Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Cedarquist? Yes. Ms. Mayo? Yes. Mr. Wishna?
Yes.
Mr. Korn? Mr. Ferraro? And Chair Tiger?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Mr. Mistretta, we done with you tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Move to adjourn.
Not yet, no. So a couple things. One, our next meeting will is virtual for the board to know. It will be either on April 8th or April 13th. We're just working through some things right now. But it will be a virtual meeting for the 2 new folks. It's just a Zoom meeting. You'll get a link. You join. As of right now, what will be coming before the board will maybe be our master plan, Mr. Mistretta?
Yes, that's up next.
Yeah, if we do get the application for United Windows and Doors, that will get moved to a different meeting because we're not taking that virtual. That requires a lot of understanding of the site plans and so forth. Any members of the public wish to speak? Seeing none, I'd like to close to the public and open up for Mr. Mayor.
Move to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
See you later, Julie. Nick, take care, bye.
Went over.